Good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing on today? Let me tell y'all what. It is Wednesday, December 27th, 2023. And this show, let me adjust the camera a little bit, is not going to be very long. I can tell y'all that for real, for real. It's not. I want to say to you guys that I hope that you all had a very Merry Christmas and going into the new year. I want to say to you all that I have been under the weather. I started my holiday vacation. When did I start my holiday vacation? I started my holiday vacation last Wednesday. Last Wednesday, I tested positive for COVID. Yesterday was my first day up and about, so of course I had to strip my beds, well, the bed that I slept in upstairs because I had to quarantine and do a lot of disinfecting and cleaning to make sure that I can roam about the house today. But my voice is not as strong. Of course, for those of you who have had COVID, this is my second time around. For those of you who have had COVID, you know that you don't just jump back into life like you once did. But I want to say to you all, good morning, everybody. It is so good to be alive. I am grateful to be here. And one of the things that I was grateful for that when I um, tested positive for COVID was that I had some juice in the freezer in reserve. I also had juice from the last episode that we did. I know that it's on the screen 103, but it was episode 102. So, good morning, subscribers. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, those of you who just watch and haven't subscribed yet. I just appreciate y'all watching, gaining information, gaining some insight, not so much into my life, but how to be better in your life. And that's really what it's all about. What did COVID do for me this time? It showed me that I needed to at least every 2 weeks stop everything, relax, rest, free my mind, get fresh air, and make sure that I eat right. So, guys, I don't know if y'all are aware of what I'm about to make juice wise, but I'm going to make us some of my favorite juice, which is the pineapple, grapefruit, raspberry juice. But I am going to add some lemon to it, and I am going to add some ginger to this one. You know, we got to take care of ourselves. That's the whole thing. How did I get COVID? Well, the business that I'm in, I am in and out of clients' homes. Did not even think about trying to get people's jobs out so quickly. Didn't even think about protecting myself. Um, it had come across my hearing that, the virus was on an uprise and, people are out and about and we are just not cautious. I know I wasn't. And so, but in me finding out, I had to call my clients whose houses that I had been in to let them know because I went in one lady's house, I had on a mask, another couple of people I did not. And so I had to inform those clients that I had COVID. And so it's over. I tested negative. Thank you, Jesus. I am so grateful just to be alive. And so I'm going to go on and start loading the Nama juicer. I will say too that maybe day 4, I made me some, I made some juice for myself and I made it in my Breville juicer. And I want to tell y'all that I love the Breville juicer for those of you that I've told to get it. But I will say that the Nama juicer does produce a little bit more juice and less pulp than the Breville. So I want to tell y'all if you can put it in your budget for 2024, do get the Nama. They put you on a payment plan, which is how I got mine. It's pricey. It's yeah, it's like the price of an airline ticket to round trip that you buy at the last minute. So the only thing I can tell y'all is if you want to continue to juice going into 2024, try the Nama or make sure that you get a juicer that's going to extract the juice. I know there's a new one out, and I even got a new one for Christmas that I purchased for myself, and it's a Breville juicer slash it's a juicer and a blender. So, I just like having gadgets in the house. If I would swing the camera around and go into my pantry across the room, you would see all of the equipment that I have: food processors, choppers, blenders. What is that? I have the air fryer over there. I have a Breville toaster, which is amazing. But I just like appliances because it helps speed up things. So I'm not going to belabor um, the the program. But I want to tell y'all, I'm going to dedicate this show to my oldest, the son of my womb, George. He says I'm G, Mom. So he is Party with G. He is an amazing DJ. I was listening to him as I was prepping the food because he interviewed me in 2021 for his broadcast that he was doing on a show, 94.1, I think it was, The Link. And so I was listening and watching that as I was prepping the food, and I realized how wonderful my son is. I can say that if there is a better part of me, and all of us have our good parts and all of us have our bad parts, but if he got anything from me, he is the kindest, sweetest, humblest person that I know. And so, George, I dedicate this to you. His birthday was this month. I didn't get a chance to see him to celebrate December 20th, 1977. He's 46 years old. He has three amazing children who love their grandma. Um, when you hear me talk about my grandest, Day Day, that's his dad. My granddaughter, Gianna, George is her dad. My youngest grandson, Jalon, that's his dad. So he has a triple threat. Amazing children, very respectable. He's just done a fantastic job. And so I want to dedicate this show to him and tell you, George, I love you. I so appreciate you. I appreciate you being the negotiator in the family, with the son of my vows, my husband and I. George is the peacemaker. He's going to be the one to say, "You didn't hear that correctly, Mom," because he's put out a lot of fires for me. He's helped me to think clearly, to see God in a better light. I remember at 16 years old, it was a time where I had just come to Christ, and I loved the movie Pretty Woman, and he loved rap music, which he still does. He's a DJ. He loved music even at that time. But in my minuscule mind and my religious training that I was being formed into, I remember George telling me, because I could watch Pretty Woman 3 and 4 times a day. And I remember him telling me, he said, "Mom, Pretty Woman ain't no different than rap music. She a prostitute. What's the difference in what you watching on TV and what I'm listening to?" That was the wisdom that he had at 16 years old. But it helped me to understand you're off in your thinking here. And he has the ability, even to this day, he's 46, I'm 66. But even to this day, he has the ability to bring me back in and think about what I'm thinking about, which was what the show was about the other day. But I want to say I love you, G, and much success to you and your fiance, Tamika. Hi, baby girl. That's my daughter-in-law. And so I want to say to you all, the best is yet to come. And stay the course. Stay consistent in whatever you're putting your hands to, because you're going to see the manifestation of it. And that's to all of you out there. So I'm going to go ahead and start loading the juicer here. I've prepped already. I want to say to you all, if I seem a little mellow today, I am. I'm not 100% feeling good. I'm still a little bit congested, lots of fluid. And I want to tell you all, those of you who um, are dealing with COVID or have relatives dealing with COVID, make sure that they stay hydrated, please, whatever you do, because COVID actually dehydrates you. And the way that it does, it goes in, and because you have so much mucus that the body is trying to push out, your temperature rises. Your temperature rises because the body is fighting off the bacteria that's hit it. And so, as long as your temperature doesn't go past 3 days, let it ride. Don't take anything for it. Let your temperature rise. My temperature got up to 100.8, not 108, but 100.8. And I was okay with it. If it had gotten past 102, 103, then I would have had to go to the emergency room. But it was 100.8, and I let it ride. I felt it. But what it was doing what the body does. It's made to heal itself. And so I allowed it to. And then after that, I realized that um, I needed to quarantine myself when my temperature went up, and I took that COVID test. But I also knew, okay, I'd had my juice. And so I was drinking my juice. And as I was drinking my juice, I realized, okay, I need to drink water. But what I found out, I couldn't drink bottled water. I'm going to say that again. I could not drink bottled water. Bottled water I could taste the chemicals in it because they put sodium bicarbonate in it and some other things in the bottled water. And so I could taste it. And I knew my body was going to reject that. I was going to get sick and I was going to be throwing up. And so I do a warm lemon water anyway. So I have distilled water in my teapot. And so I made sure that I kept boiling water um, to be able to get a better quality of water in my system. And then what that did, it kept that phlegm and everything coming up. I'm just telling y'all what I had to do. I'm sure that COVID has been out, it's been out since um, probably 2019. And so we know what to do. But I will say that there were some things that I had to do once my body calmed down, because the first 3 days I couldn't do anything but drink water and drink juice. But that was fresh juice, no store bought juice. And so I, uh, I had to, after that, I started doing my quercetin, and I took oregano. My quercetin is still upstairs, but I would put the oregano drops in my juice, and that is a natural antibiotic. You can only take that for 2 weeks. And so I did that. And what else did I do? Just lots of water, lots of water. I think I went through about 3 rolls of paper towels and maybe about, let's see, because it was a week, because it's Wednesday, so I'm up now. But one of the things that I had to do, I had I had to get my chapstick because my lips were becoming very, very dry. Because again, my body was using the fluid to pull the mucus off of my body. A lot of phlegm coming up from my throat, my lungs, and my sinuses. And so I had to really take care of myself, guys. And that is what I am doing now. So I'm going to continue to put the raspberries in. I want to say, y'all, love yourself. You got to love yourself in this season. Hope again that y'all had a Merry Christmas. And going into 2024, here we are. 2024 is coming. I hope that those of you who didn't fulfill the plans that you had on the books this year, I hope that you put them at the top of your list for next year. I know that that's what I'm having to do. I am still waiting for my book to be published. I want to do a women's conference, and really I want to do a health and wealth conference, and hopefully that will come about in 2024. Didn't get to it in 2023, and that's okay, because you know what? As long as we have plans and we have something to look forward to, right, guys? Yeah. So don't have a lot to talk about today. Oh, I was telling y'all, what did COVID teach me this time? As I sat and I listened to preaching, I found this fantastic man. He was teaching on your connection with God, and your consistency with God is what's going to disarm the devil, because the devil always comes and try to nag you with that consistent thing, that one thing that you've been doing all your life that you need to stop. And so you need to create a new habit, a new normal for you. That new normal is getting in the Word, spending time with God. And so that's something that I learned. But I also learned that COVID wasn't so bad. being upstairs, isolated. I miss my husband a lot. Being isolated wasn't so bad because it taught me this, that how I can't complain about it, I can't whine about it, because you know what, somebody's child, somebody's parent, somebody's mate is incarcerated and has been there for a very long time. Some people are mentally arrested, where you're in a fog, or you just can't seem to get out of a place or space in your mind. Um, and so it allowed me to see that my my being isolated or quarantined or whatever we want to call it, um, it it did me good. Actually, it humbled me a little bit. I did a lot of thinking about a lot of things. I made some decisions about moving forward. I have to finish school, but after I finish school, I've got to make some major decisions for my life, for the betterment of myself, of my future. And so, but I just learned a lot of things about myself. And so, if you do get COVID and you need to isolate yourself a little bit, don't fight it, guys. Whatever you do, don't fight it. Make sure you get plenty of fluids because your body is using a lot of fluids. That juice is beautiful today. Those grapefruits and raspberries are putting off a beautiful pinkish color there. And so we are already at a liter of juice, and I'm making a lot. I get to go to the movies today with my family to see The Color Purple, the new edition. Um, for whatever reason, a lot of people, everybody have their opinion about a lot of things, but I want to go and see it because I like seeing us as a race of people do better. I'm not saying that other races of people, I've never seen them do better, but I do like seeing my people because for a long time, when I was growing up as a little girl, I didn't see our color on TV. I didn't even see our color in the grocery stores behind the counters. I did not. Um, I remember when I was 6 years old, the first time I saw a white girl, and I was visiting my grandma in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, and we went there every summer. But I do remember that day because my grandmother, we walked to the store. She didn't have a car, and I remember we got in the hardware store, and this was in the '60s, and so my grandmother um, was already nervous because back then blacks were still being beat, were still being lynched, and especially in the deeper South. And so when I got in the store, the only doll babies, dolls like Barbie, we had one, that was about would come up to your waist. And I remember my mom couldn't find black dolls. They didn't make black dolls back then. And so I had a little white doll, and her hair was all the way down her back. And I remember going in the store and seeing this little girl, and I went completely off because to me she was a live doll. And I remember, meaning going completely off, I started screaming, "Grandma, look at her!" I remember it just like it was this morning. And I started rubbing the little girl's hair, and all the people in the store looked at me. But what they didn't understand was I grew up in an all black community with my little kinky hair, and I had never seen straight, long hair, yet let alone a white child that was the same height as my white doll baby, but she was moving. I never forgot that. I don't. I remember walking home with my grandma, and she yelled at me. She understood though, but she yelled at me. She said, "You embarrassed me." I didn't even know what embarrassment meant. All I knew was I had saw a live doll, but that's the image that has been put for us, that white women, white children are precious and they are dolls and we are to be looked down on. That's not racist. That's the reality of my life. And so I'm going to see The Color Purple because I'm going to see Black people, Black women come into their own. I've watched the interviews while I had COVID. I had such a wonderful time listening to the characters, why they wanted to do it, why they did not want to do it, listening to Taraji and all the different people, and listening to the negativity of people, their comments, and how people will do anything to get likes or get somebody to watch their um, their video that they put up. You're thinking that you're following something that's been put out by the studio or those who produced the movie, and you found out there's somebody that's just knows how to operate their computer and can pull clips of things together and then voice over themselves giving their opinion. And so it's things like that that I don't like. But anyway, so I just wanted to share that with y'all. That little thing, guys, I'm going to drink. I'm going to taste this juice. I don't think all of the ingredients is in it, but I am getting a little bit um, dry in my mouth. And then I need to taste the juice, right? To see. There's some pineapple. So I'm going to mix that pineapple in there. And I'm going to taste the juice. And then I'm going to give y'all the benefits of the juice. And I'm going to finish making the juice. And I remember telling y'all I had a homework assignment and I had to write a love letter to one of the organs or parts of my digestive system or our digestive system. And I didn't forget that I told y'all that. And so I am going to read that to y'all today. But I am going to mix in, there is the pink grapefruit and pineapple coming out. And so just that, we're already at 2 liters of juice and I need that because I am going to have this for my husband and I. And so, yeah, that's basically it, guys. Let's talk about this. I'm going to tell y'all the benefits of this juice. Got some ginger in there. We got some lemon. Um, lemon, ginger. Ginger increases your serotonin and dopamine levels, which is that happy gene. We need that. That's ginger, y'all. It reduces inflammation. Ginger inflammation can cause depression, and so one of the things that the ginger is doing for us, even with this, for those of you who live alone, my heart just went out to, my mind just went everywhere when I was quarantining. I thought about my sisters who live alone and what that must be like every single day, day in and day out, being sick, not having somebody, there to talk with you or um, you can bounce things off if what you're thinking is right, if how your perspective on life is that right, to have somebody to bounce things off and somebody that will tell you the truth of how they see you. Sometimes that those things like that can get us in trouble because we actually believe that because we're thinking it that is right. My husband teaches me that that's not true. And I teach him that that's not true. Just because you think it don't mean it's right. Just because I think it don't mean it's right. But that's why you have somebody to bounce things off of you. And so you need the ginger in your life to help you to balance out, get your serotonin and dopamine levels, your happy genes going. Um, One of the things that ginger does is provides benefits for anxiety, depression, dementia, Alzheimer's, and post-traumatic stress disorder. I am finished with the juice, y'all. Ginger also eases stomach pains and can treat nausea and motion sickness. It also helps with, I'm going to let that run a little bit more. It also helps with menstrual pain, right? So that's enough on ginger. I'm going to go on. This is the report that I did in school because we had to do a video for class for a grade. And so I did, of course, we had to prepare something. And so what did I prepare? Something that's easy for me. I prepared juice. And so I had that report because I had to read it to my instructor. And then she had several other instructors there. And so my teacher told me, she said, you have a healing presence. And that blessed me. And I hope that my healing presence helps you all today. I want you to be sound in mind and sound in body so that you can make good decisions for your future. This is a powerful antioxidant-rich juice, and this fruit combination is so amazingly good whether you juice them or cut them up and eat them as a frozen fruit cup. It's scrum delicious. So I'm going to taste it. I'm going to put everything aside here, guys. I want to tell y'all that I'm grateful to you. Love yourself, though. And I think I'm going to put me, when you use the oregano, you use 3 drops in your drink. But again, I'm going to tell you, you can only take it for 2 weeks because it can do some damage to your kidneys, and you don't want to do that. And so there's that perfect juice today. That is lemon, raspberry, pineapple, lemon, raspberry, pineapple, pink grapefruit, and some ginger. And then I'm going to put some oregano in it. And it's a dark oil. It's a bronzy color oil. And you can't, 1, 2, 3. You cannot, I just put 3 drops in it. Guys, you cannot take it by itself. It's very potent. And so I wouldn't recommend that you try to put a drop in your mouth like that, because I will tell you that one of the things that it will do, it will cut off your wind, and it will burn. So don't think that you're going to be super person and try to take something without juice, okay? Something that will dilute it a little bit. This juice is always wonderful to me. That's why I made it, because I need it, guys. And I know that it's going to, as soon as it gets in, it's going to start making that phlegm come forward, but I'm going to try to move through this quickly. When eaten, the grapefruit is full of fiber, which makes you feel fuller longer. And the fiber helps us to have regular bowel movements, as well as keep the LDL, or the low density lipoprotein cholesterol, in check. Because the fiber keeps you feeling fuller longer, grapefruit also helps you manage weight. In addition to fiber, grapefruits provide us with 100% of our daily requirement of vitamin C. I need the vitamin C. You need the vitamin C. Grapefruits are a powerful antioxidant that fights off the free radicals that the body produces from stress, exercise, and environmental toxins. Grapefruits are great for the immune system and helps fight off viruses and bacteria that cause disease, as well as reduce inflammation and ease high blood pressure. Grapefruits have another benefit that is not shared by other citrus fruits, and that they have high levels of vitamin A or beta carotene. One grapefruit provides 10% of your daily potassium needs, 8% of your thiamine, that's your B1, and 8% of your folate, B9. Even people with high blood glucose levels can enjoy the benefits of eating grapefruits. 26 grams of carbohydrates in a grapefruit are offset by the high fiber content, which helps the sugars break down more slowly. The side effects, if we or a patient have digestive conditions such as gastroesophageal reflux disease, or known as GERD, then this juice is not recommended. Also, certain medications cannot be taken with grapefruits or this juice mixture. There's some interesting fun facts about pineapples. Pineapples is derived from the Spanish word piña, meaning pine cone. It was discovered on the island of Guadalupe in 1493. Pineapple is it was at the time considered a luxury fruit, and was eaten only by the wealthy Europeans during that period. The skin of the pineapple is used to make alcohol, animal food, and vinegar. That's an interesting fact, isn't it? The nutritions of pineapples, they are not calorie dense. They're packed with several nutrients that are necessary for the body. Half a cup of pineapples is only 82 calories. I'm going to skip down. Let's see. Drinking this powerful pineapple juice with all its rich vitamins and minerals will do this for us. Promote weight loss, help the body recover from surgery, speeds up muscle recovery, cures scalp inflammation, promotes softer, shinier hair, treats coughs and colds. That's why I made it, guys. Pineapples treat coughs and colds. And I even ate a lot of fresh cut up pineapples while I was sick as well. Excuse me, y'all. I have to come off the camera for a second. Please excuse me. But I knew once I put some liquid in that it was going to cause the phlegm to come up. So I'm going to go in my bathroom while I continue to read. It promotes, is good for your eyes. It aids in digestion, prevents cancer. Pineapple is good for your teeth, good for your arthritis symptoms, prevents hypertension or high blood pressure, reduces the risk of blood clots, treats acne, prevents nausea. It's a natural energizer. It's a stress buster. Reduces wrinkles and aging. It treats acne. It's excellent for the skin. And then the mighty raspberry. This is my favorite. I had some raw ones this morning. Didn't mean to leave the camera, but I needed to wash my hands. Raspberries are low in sugar, rich in anti-aging, antioxidants, reduces inflammation. Raspberry lower the risk of cardiovascular disease, lowers the risk of cancer, supports your DNA repair, and block enzymes that trigger arthritis pain, lowers your blood pressure, lowers your LDL cholesterol, and stimulate the immune system. They have antibacterial properties that fight tooth decay. Raspberries have anti-diabetic properties, fights cardiovascular disease. Raspberries are antimicrobial, which treat infections in humans, fights Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease, helps with coordination, mood, and memory. Raspberries help with brain housekeeping by clearing out toxic proteins tied to brain dysfunction. And so that is the benefits of the juice. I know that I have lemons in there. Lemons have limonene, and the oil in lemons is good for you. But lemons also are full of vitamin C. And so I'm not going to keep you all long today, but I did promise that I was going to read you all my love letter to my organ, right? So I'm going to stir this up a little bit. I might dilute this a little bit. It's kind of thick today for me for some reason. This is, again, pineapples, raspberries, red grapefruit, ginger, and lemon. And I'm going to take a sip and then I'm going to read this to you. And then I'm going to close out for today, guys, because I didn't get to celebrate Christmas. And so I am going to cook my husband and I a good dinner today. I want to do a chicken and some collards. And my husband loves my potato salad and some mac and cheese, and that's going to be it for me. My niece, do a shout out for Ronnie. Oh God, my niece that was here for my sister Honey's birthday party that did the breakfast. Let me tell y'all what, they threw down for Christmas. So they got our little food bundles together. They had fried chicken, fried shrimp, scallops, fish, turkey stuffing, collard greens, yams, potato salad, mac and cheese, chitlins. Oh my gosh. And I just ate a little bit of everything. And I want to tell y'all the food was so good. So thank you, Ronnie and Taryn and Parrish and Terrence and Cairo. Thank y'all for making sure that we got something to eat on Christmas Day. So we got to enjoy your meal. So I'm going to read this to y'all. And I hope you enjoy my writing as much as I do, so that when my book comes out, 52 Days to Rebuilding Your Broken Life, I promise you it'll be out in 2024. But I will say to you, I hope that you enjoy my writing as much as I do. And so, coming up in 2024, if you want to invite me to your church, to your civic group, even to a private party to talk about juicing and showing you how to juice, the benefits of juicing, just give me a call or go to Eating Clean with Francine at gmail.com and I'll get back with you. Alrighty? So that's for my 2024 schedule. So listen at this. My dearest friend testing. Friend testing. That's my pet name for my large intestine. I was first introduced to you when I was around 11 years old. And I know you've heard the saying, first impressions are lasting. Well, that was so very true. Because from then until about 5 years ago, I really did not like you. The only time you would interact with me was during bouts of severe constipation. You never gave me any indication that you wanted a serious relationship with me. Well, maybe you did when my bowels wouldn't move due to poor diet, but I was not aware of your love language. Fiber from fruits, veggies, nuts, seeds, and beans, and lots of water was what you desired from me. I, on the other hand, thought you enjoyed the greasy, sugary, processed foods I always shared with you whenever we had a chance to be around each other. You had a strange way of telling me that you wanted a smooth moving relationship. When I found out that you were easy to please and you had so much more to you than us meeting in that small stall once a week, then I really fell in love with you. When you stretch out, you are 9 feet tall, and I love a tall man. Your sphincter muscles that guard the anus, I love that you are muscular and protective at the same time. You have voluntary and involuntary muscle control that gives me butterflies and makes me want to poop in my pants, like Vivian in the movie Pretty Woman, that we watched over 25 times, even though she almost peed in her pants, but you know what I mean. I noticed you are nothing like your cousin Smalls, who spits digestive enzymes and absorbs foods from the digestion. So rude. You, however, have those tubular glands of the inner lining with mucous membranes. That's how really smooth you are. And I love everything about you. You so cool. Even your bacteria has a pet name, intestinal flora. And what your cousin can't handle, you can finish what he can't. I could go on and on about you, my love, but my husband doesn't know about this secret affair, and he just came in for dinner. So I'm going to say until we meet again in our special place, the stall. So, guys, I pray that you have a fantastic day. For those of you who don't go to the movies, then ask somebody how they like The Color Purple. For those of you who do, go check it out. There's another movie I want to see, The Men in the Boat. It's about those men who race in the boat. I can't think of it right now, but I want to see that one too. So I want to tell you, I love yourself. Sit with God, pause with God so that He can tell you why you do what you do, why you pop off the way you do, why you get sick the way that you are, um, what's going on with you. He can tell you for real. You might not want to hear what he says, but if you get quiet enough with him, he'll start sharing some things with you about you so that you can be better. So I want to tell y'all today is a good day to have a good day. I love you guys. Take care of yourself. And I'll see y'all in 2024. God bless everybody.